Shakespeare was born in the little town of Stratford-upon-Avon in 1564. This was during the reign of Queen Elizabeth, so it was called the Elizabethan era. His parents were John and Mary Shakespeare, and he had 7 siblings in all. In November 1582, Shakespeare married Anne Hathaway, who was already bearing their first child, Susanna. His other 2 children, twins Judith and Hamnet, came later, though Hamnet died at the age of 11 from the plague. Shakespeare lived away from his family in London for quite a time and joined the Lord Chamberlain's Men, a theatre group, in 1594. The theatre company's name was later changed to the King's Men when James I became king. After working for this group for 5 years, Shakespeare had made enough money to buy a share in the Globe Theatre. This theatre was open to the air and you had to stand for the whole 3 hours of the play. Wealthy people had paid more money to get seats to the side of the stage. Women were not allowed to act in plays, so young boys would play their parts because their voices are higher and their body shape is less developed. Between the years of 1593 and 1594, the theatres were closed down due to an outbreak of plague. This caused the theatres to eventually run out of money. Shakespeare wrote 37 plays and 145 sonnets in all. He wrote histories such as Henry V and Richard II. He wrote comedies such as As You Like It and All's Well That Ends Well. He wrote romances such as Pericles, Prince of Tyr, and The Winter's Tale. He wrote tragedies such as Hamlet and Macbeth. He also wrote tragicomedies or the problem plays such as Cymbeline and The Tempest. The main difference between a Shakespearean comedy and a tragedy is that in the end of the comedy the characters get married and have a happy ending, but in a tragedy the characters die and it is a sad ending. The inspiration for most of Shakespeare's plays came from other great playwrights such as Geoffrey, Chaucer, and Plutarch. He borrowed plots from other authors, but some of his plays are purely original. But how did Shakespeare's great works get handed down to us? 2 fellow actors, John Hemminges and Harry Condell, honored his memory by collecting his plays into a published book, the First Folio. Shakespeare died on April 23, 1616, at the age of 52. He left behind a rich legacy and is an important part of English literature. He will always be remembered.